Welcome to ZeroCool's HardDrive, where we crash 1,507 systems in one day, where we look into a year in movies and perhaps visit some of the news of that year. So today we're starting with 1995 and the totally unbiased opinion, the best movie ever, naturally. So I'd give it a 10 out of 10, but I don't think these guys let me. And I'm here with Garth.
We'll go by Berg, I think. Berg works.
And I'm here with Dylan.
Just go by Dunkel. It works, but I'm him.
All right. They insist on your last names. Anonymity. Fun.
Absolutely.
All right. Huh?
It's not really anonymity anymore, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, we're out there now. Our names are out. We're part of the system. No more off the grid for us.
System. That's what the manual said.
All right, Garth, why don't you take us away with the news of 1995?
All right. News of 1995. One of the bigger news stories of 1995 was the trial of the century.
What is the trial of the century?
It was the trial of the century. That's what they called it. O.J. Simpson stood trial for the murders of Nicole Simpson, Ronald Goldman. Gave you the biggest pop culture phrase of the time. If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit.
My favorite line. I use it for everything.
Everything possible.
I use it every day. Nearly every day.
Concerning.
He was found not guilty, so I guess that works. I guess that worked. You just have to rhyme and then you get out of jail.
And he made Broncos cool again? Maybe? I don't know.
They are now.
Yeah, you hear that, everyone? Go get yourself a white Bronco and a pair of black leather gloves. It's all the rage.
That shrink. Some other things released in 1995 was Windows 95 by Microsoft. Netscape's IPO launched, basically starting up more World Wide Web stuff, more mainstream stuff for people.
Netscape Navigator.
Japan had the PlayStation in December of 1994. In America, got it 95 of September. $300 it cost.
I got a used one.
Probably about the same price as today if you account for inflation.
That's true. That's very true. They say they were actually more expensive back then.
If you
compare with inflation.
Had a full household. We didn't have a computer until like 98. And that's what
we
had. We had one.
We had a computer. We didn't have consoles until the PlayStation 2.
I think we had one in 94 or 95. I think it was when Windows 95 first came out, is when we got a computer for the house.
We got an Atari and a Dreamcast pretty early.
And an Atari. Yeah. I wouldn't say Atari's early for your age. I'd say it's quite behind.
They were with the times.
But yeah, we were Doom, Half-Life, Warcraft.
Warcraft at a friend's house. I think that was actually on Windows 3.1 though, if I remember.
Yeah, that happened. Clueless was a huge movie with the teens.
As if.
Totally.
Whatever.
Except that you quote that so well.
Oh, it was, come on, Paul Rudd, Alicia Silverstone.
As if should just make a comeback.
It really should. Yeah. I mean, it's no worse than the brain rot we have these days, right?
You have to say it with that flair, though, too. As if.
As if. Whatever. And that had pre-going crazy Brittany Murphy.
Not pretty much. Then she went nuts like most of them do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that was the year of 1995.
Yeah, so that was more the news, more movie stuff. Braveheart won the Oscars for Best
Freedom!
Number one in the global box office was Die Hard with a Vengeance. Number one in the domestic box office was Toy Story. First fully animated movie ever for, what was it, digitally animated? Or how did they...
Motion capture? No, it wasn't motion capture, because that was what
Computer
Wallace
animated
and Gromit were.
It was just the first fully 3D animated feature film. Yeah.
And the price of a home computer would cost you about $2,000.
Actually, yeah. We bought a Compaq in, I think, 97. Or was it 96? And it was $2,300 for 166 megahertz.
Yeah.
It did come with a printer, though, when printers were actually a thing. Yeah, that'd buy a Primo computer now.
That's the news. That's what I have for now. Probably keep it more pop culturally like that. It's not really a word, but...
Not going to get too dark in here.
No, not too dark.
Nope.
All right, someone want to start off with notes about hacks?
Well, first off, absolutely awesome opening, gotta say. I know you two aren't fans, but I love Orbital. It was like a Halcyon On and On is the beginning song of that. And I like how they interweaved it. They started off with him in the house and then busting in. Now, note on that, right? So the Hackers movie starts with a SWAT team busting in on this kid's house. Now, I gotta say, it's the most unprofessional SWAT team ever. Broad daylight, just running with their guns. Absolutely no coordination. Just charging for the door.
I have, because I was taking notes, his mom's the most oblivious person in the history of the world.
Oh, 100%.
She's standing by the window as they're about to break in. The dog outside is barking. I don't know about you guys, but if a dog's barking outside and I see a little movement out the window, I'm looking out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure the SWAT team was shouting,
with
too.
their plants, just watering the plants, not a care in the world.
Can we talk about just the use of SWAT team in general throughout the movie, where they're just constantly just breaking through the windows?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just property damage up the wazoo.
Farther into the movie, when they arrest, I think it's when they arrest Freak. I'm like, this is so excessive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're the Secret Service. They should be able to figure out who the people are in the house.
Right, and there's no protective gear, but like there's a small like black vest, but like wouldn't you compare it to what the SWAT team is now, like full heavy armor unit? I did put a note on there. I felt like the movie could have been 30 minutes shorter if we didn't make the whole beginning just slow motion. The entire like 15 minutes of it was just everything was happening in slow motion.
No, man, you see, that's the build.
I know, but it's so excessively slow, though.
And then you get the payoff.
At the beginning, but I have a note. Who was the person washing the car in front of the house? And why didn't the SWAT team clear him out of there?
That's what I want to know. Right? I want to know that guy's story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was the whole point was just to be in there, like, oh no, the SWAT team's here. Like, who is that?
I want to see the news interview with him afterwards, you know?
Right. Just standing
Sir, can you describe what happened here today? I don't know. These guys came in waving their guns and black uniform.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. It's freaking hilarious, though.
No, and then I was intrigued with like the transition into like using like the motherboard flyover for the city. That was kind of like a cool transition. And then they got into that scene where he's battling, I forget her code name in it, but Angelina Jolie over the net. And
Acid burn.
And they're doing the VHS swapper for the media. And I was like, was that an actual thing, or is that just what they use for the thing? It was just funny watching it like take turns grabbing the VHS. I was like, was that a real thing, or is that just like they made it for the movie kind of thing?
Now, I don't know for sure.
Speak from back then.
But I think it probably was a real thing, but I don't think what they were doing with it would have been a real thing.
Right.
I don't think you're actuating, like each little hand from the keyboard.
Then the movie starts going. So like, from my perspective, like I'm the only one that hasn't seen it beforehand. So I'm like, I'm just trying not to nitpick at it, but it's just like all the tropes that they use for everything. So it's like rollerblades, skateboards everywhere. It's all the hype. And then we started getting a little deeper into it, and then realizing that to be a hacker in the 90s, sunglasses are important, that everybody had a pair of sunglasses on, no matter where they were. And they were the little bulbed ones, too.
Oh, yeah. You had to have cool sunglasses. You had to have a cool look.
Yeah, it's cool sunglasses. You had to have, like, pieces from 8 different non-matching uniforms.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All the belts in the world. A bunch of zippers and pockets. Mm-hmm. That was your street cred. Except Freak. I think Freak was the only one that actually dressed somewhat
he had
normally.
Some outfits. He had some, one of his was, leopard and tiger or something like that.
I mean, they were pretty ostentatious, but they weren't, ripped shirt, belt, buckle, pockets, zipper. And Joey.
Well, the one guy, they were doing the poem scene in the beginning, just for the dress code aspect in general. The one dude in the classroom was just wearing like a prom vest, but nothing underneath it. He's just open chested. I was like, was this a real thing? Did people just were half-ass naked in the thing?
The 90s.
Yeah, the 90s, man. That would be a thing.
That's got to be the most laid-back teacher ever.
Absolutely.
And also, why does he have the class list?
That's what I want to know, because they're mid-school year, right?
Yeah.
What was he doing with the class list all the time?
Yeah, happen to have
is that what it's like in bigger schools? Maybe, I don't know.
Right.
They're just always like, shit, are you in my class?
Yeah, I did enjoy the throwback, seeing the perforated paper on both sides, that they were using it for everything.
Yeah, can we maybe talk about that a little bit? Because that's one thing I'm curious about, is because before the SWAT busted into Freak's house, he was trying to get rid of this stack of printed paper, but it was just binary or ASCII or whatever. It didn't look like anything. And obviously these absolutely incompetent Secret Service people were probably not going to find out what it was, if it was anything. It's just
Yeah, even as the movie kept on going on, jump to the end, but like when they're finding his code, they're like, "Oh my God, he was dumpster diving and he found all of our stuff that's gonna incriminate all of us in the dumpster."
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Printing out all the
I'm
code?
pretty sure they had paper shredders back then. Maybe they should have invested in that. I mean, it was a huge oil company, was it not?
I kind of got lost in some of that. Like I lost the intent of what they were doing because they kind of like they went in and out on like, is it going to be really big with Dave Murphy and Angelina kind of like becoming this romantic thing, or was it jumping into like the financial thing? And then they touched a little bit on like they were threatening the world of sinking these ships, but then I just feel like they didn't cover a whole lot of that, but like they
Well, like,
went away from it.
Yeah.
You mean the plot?
Yeah, the plot
Like
aspect of
plot
it.
to dump the stuff and blame it on the hackers. Yeah. Basically, it's like a bait and switch.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing Jesse Bradford as a child actor.
Jesse Bradford.
He was
He's
Joey.
the
Oh,
guy
is that
that
Joey?
they pin
Yeah, that's
everything on.
Joey,
Yep.
yeah.
Because he also
Yeah,
plays.
I didn't really recognize him until I like looked up who he was.
Yeah, so he plays the main guy in Clock Stoppers, and then for your female audience aspect, he's also the brother in Bring It On.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess since we're covering cast, we got some very key players here. Of course, Angelina Jolie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Angelina Jolie. Then we have Johnny Lee Miller, and of course, the beloved 90s actor Matthew Lillard, who, if you wanted a goofball in the 90s, that was your guy. Hippie-ish stoner goofball.
Yeah, that stoner goofball. That's pretty much what he played. Most people probably know him from Scooby-Doo these days.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo, SLC Punk. Johnny Lee Miller. I don't remember him. It was Train Spotting, and then this, and then, I don't know, I feel like he kind of disappeared off the radar.
I think he was in like he was in a show called Elementary where he played like a Sherlock Holmes type character, or maybe was Sherlock Holmes. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
That was about all I've seen him in though recently.
Let's get back to
Talk
it, yeah.
about how ridiculous the Gibson computer is.
Oh, man,
How
see that?
absolutely ridiculous that computer is. That
You
has,
want to talk about tropes of the 90s.
electricity on the outside.
Yeah, like that's... I love when they just indulge themselves in the 90s, and they had to, like, always visualize the computer as if it's some, like, other dimension or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're going down into these circuits, and we've got this big tower, and we're going to find the garbage file.
Right, and why would that company even need a system like that? Because it was just like a oil company. Like they wouldn't need
That's what I was.
computer system like that.
Yeah, that's what I kind of got lost in for a moment. I was like, wait, what is this company that they're doing all this for? And like, why is there so much tech savviness into this?
Yeah, they were just like an oil company or something like that.
Yeah.
I think we can safely call it, what do they call it in the movies? A MacGuffin. Definitely a MacGuffin. just something to throw in there to...
Yeah, and then I had a note about like just the 90s being everything see-through, that even the escalators had see-through on the sides. I don't know if you caught that, but like they showed all the hardware through the escalators and everything. And then the VR setups. I like that the ideal VR setup hasn't changed from what it was in 1995 to what we see now, where it's like you have the setup.
You have like the actual running platform and
Yeah,
everything.
you're on the running pad and everything. I was like glad to see the ideal setup hasn't changed at all since then. So that's. And then when they started doing their challenge, I got a big kick out of that. That he took the time, like, all right, we're doing this, and then he paints his PC camouflage. I was like, what's the point of that? Going undercover.
Man,
and if it's going undercover,
war,
and then they go into Grand Central Station.
He painted it when they were hacking. What's his face? Secret Service agent.
The Secret Service guy, the most ridiculous, inept Secret Service agent in the history of forever.
Yeah, as we were going through, maybe FBI, maybe Secret Service agent.
Yeah, where he's like, I used to protect the president, and now I'm not going to look like an idiot. Well, you are. Why didn't you learn anything before you started, like, I'm going to chase hackers?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Mm-hmm. Hey, they yelled at the guy, use it in words I can understand.
Right?
And
even
putting,
know what
like...
an uncorrupted file was. Like, the most basic of things to know for your job. You didn't tell me you didn't read a book?
And also putting complete faith and trust in Mr. the Plague. Pretty much doing his every bidding, which, like, come on, guy, you're the Secret Service.
They did everything, not one shot fired.
That's true. I mean,
not one of those guns went off.
I'll give him that. They certainly pulled him out a lot, but they never used him.
They pulled him out so much.
Did enjoy, so when they were working on bugging the building, one of the things was having Matthew Lillard go underneath the girl's desk to set up the thing, and she was just okay with him being underneath her while she was just sitting there, and it was just like a normal 4-foot desk. It's like, oh, nope, nothing under there, fine. And I was like, why was she even okay with him just being there in the first place? Like the things that they utilized to be like, yeah, this is where I'm going to hack, underneath her desk.
Right? Yeah, I made a note of that too. Like, you're telling me that they don't multiple times a day check Secret Service desks or anything for bugs? Like,
Right.
we're talking about, like, not that far adjacent of the Cold War. Like,
Right.
Well, yeah.
Right.
you're telling me they're not scanning all these things or looking for bugs in places? They're just, we'll just leave it, whatever.
I mean, at the very least, yeah, the Secret Service would be doing that. You would think. You would think.
Yeah. Well, and like given the building that it was, that's kind of back to what we were talking to about the paper earlier. The digging in the dumpster. That the huge dumpster is just right outside the door, and then they're just like, "Yep, we're stealing all this money and smuggling all this money, but go ahead and throw it in the dumpster out in the front yard." And then her response was, "Flare!"
Yeah, flare gun. Well, the security
What'd she
guard
call it,
thing
her?
was, hey, get down.
Subway
from
protection.
there. Like,
Right.
and then and then Dade Murphy with like there's like 2 swear words in the whole movie, and it's just him yelling yes word. He gets surprised. The guard's like, get down from there, and he's like, S word. Who yells that? No one. Nobody yells. No one talks like that. So yeah, just crazy.
So yeah, all in all, I'll give it like a 6 or a 7. It was pretty good. I mean, some of the jumping around is just you kind of expect that from a 1995 movie where they kind of jump around with the plot lines a little bit, but
You got it graded
Honestly,
out of 1507.
Yeah, that's our rating system here. This is ZeroCool's hard drive.
1202.
Ooh.
Honestly, though, we should bring back Jolt Cola, I think, like the original Jolt Cola that they were drinking in the movie.
I was trying to count Coke product placements. I got to 2 because I was expecting it to see in a bunch of random places. Because like he came out of his room in the beginning when Mom yells at him like, "Hey, you're not using the computer there, are you?" And he's like, "No," and he's holding the Coke bottle very fancily straight at the screen.
Well, honestly, I think they used to be a little more subtle about it back in the day. That's one thing I miss.
It
It's
wasn't.
like,
It wasn't Wayne's World, which is like they do like the whole like, "Oh my God, I could never do such a thing. It gives me a headache. I'll have to try some of this."
or these days when they pull up in a car and the camera like pans over the badge of the car.
Right. It gives me such like, oh, things were a little bit easier back then. Like I can't even get through YouTube nowadays without 4 ads, and it's just like it's a 3-minute video.
It was Coke. It might not even been product placement, right? It was just everybody drank Coke back then.
No, because we're not far off from where they're just like pop, cereal, on all the labels.
Pop brand pop, cereal brand cereal.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I'm not sure if it was a true homage at the very end when him and Angelina kind of like decide that they actually like each other, and they're flying away for the end credits, and they're actually in a pool on the roof, and maybe it was a stretch, but I was like, oh, maybe that's a whole homage to like, oh, there's an Olympic-sized pool on the roof, you should go up there, and like the irony of like the reason where they actually kind of like come together is in a pool on top of a roof.
Oh, that was 100% homage back to like the
Right, I was like,
yeah.
as maybe it's a stretch, but I was like, oh, there you go, they finally found the pool on the roof.
The
You wanna
one
go
thing.
back? I want to go back to one thing that I wrote down because it's ridiculous. The floppy disk handoff where he's holding onto the car while he's skateboarding is the lamest thing in any movie.
Right. Well, then he
It
runs up.
It is so lame. I started laughing because it's just like, why?
I think the best part was he didn't look confident in the skateboard, so he was like very carefully and gently like reaching his hand out.
And
it's
then
like
you
you're
look-
supposed to be cool. You're supposed to like have some swagger as you're coming up and grabbing the disc.
And then after he grabs it, he looks down the street, and then you see there's like a fire hydrant sitting right there too. I was like, when they were filming that, he probably almost hit it. And then they have this big smoke pile go up when he's trying to chase him, and you can still see the car turn right and him get off the skateboard and run to the right. And then he's just like, he gets to the end of the road, he's like, oh, just couldn't get him.
Atmosphere, my friend.
Well,
We need the fog for atmosphere.
Yeah. What was your most
And
awkward moment?
Towards the end of the movie, when they get caught, that one part with Matthew Lillard's character, serial killer, where he doesn't get caught, and Dane Murphy's yelling like the trash can, and he's yelling like hack the planet. Getting in the cop car. Why does Matthew Lillard yell hack the planet?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's full of Secret Service agents all over the place. There's cops all over the place looking for these hackers, and he's the one person in the crowd that starts chanting hack the planet.
Because I got the
Like,
impression
if I'm a
that
cop,
in
I'm
that
like that guy.
I got that impression that in that scene, right, he was trying to be subtle.
Yeah, because he's
Because,
wearing
like,
like a
he's-
I love New York hat and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like, shut up.
And I knew that Dade was trying to kind of give him the old hint, like in the trash, which
Yeah.
They never really covered that like whole code beforehand, so I was like,
No.
how did Matthew Lillard know what he was talking about?
And which trash can? It was in a whole friggin' subway station or whatever.
I know,
train
it's
station or whatever it was.
it's one of those ones that you kind of have to look beyond. Like, yeah, they never covered this whole code, this whole language they have.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Everything's elite too. We should bring elite back. It should be a
Yeah.
thing again.
He's elite, man.
Elite, dude.
He's elite.
Mm-hmm. I love seeing Jesse Bradford. His idea of being in probation was going to AA meetings. Talking about he's not addicted. As he's sitting there with like he got arrested for hacking, but he's going to AA meetings. And he's like, I'm not addicted. He's got a cigarette and a cup of coffee, but I'm also like, why are they just letting him smoke there too?
Right.
No, this was the 90s, Dylan. You got to understand. Like,
it's not the fact that it was the 90s. It's more the fact that he's supposed to be like, what, 17, 18 at the time?
Oh, yeah.
Well, smoking age was 16 at one point.
Yep. It was more just it was just a weird place to put him. And then when his mom tells him he's not grounded anymore, he's like, oh, yeah. And he runs up into his thing and he grabs out his smut magazines and then he grabs the things. So, like, he just left them sitting there the whole time as if he couldn't have just, like, gave one of them the disc before then.
Right. Yeah, I wrote Joey's mom just really doesn't care that much.
Right. She just goes,
like,
you're
he
really
gets arrested
bored.
for, like, bad things, and she's like, oh, I can't see you look miserable. See you later. You're ungrounded. Like,
yeah, you hacked a bank across state lines.
Yep.
But I can't be mad at
She's
you.
like,
You're ungrounded.
Honey, you're so bored. You're not grounded anymore.
They're arresting you for a virus that's going to tip over oil rigs, but you're good. Just get out of here.
Yeah, and then where they hide the floppy disk is behind the condoms container in the men's bathroom.
They set that up for the Angelina Jolie scene.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They had to do that, like,
yep.
that swag walk out of the men's room.
Mm-hmm.
Just total awkward silence.
And beforehand, they walked in there, and there was some dude trying to break into it too, and it was just like, just hyper fixated on the condoms already.
Now, I want to go back, right? So let's go back to the first scene where Dade was doing he was in computer lab.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what he was doing made sense, right? And Freak was looking over his shoulder, watching what he was doing. But what was with Freak in the 3D animated skeletons doing an intimate dance?
I have no idea.
And it looked like he was getting his rocks off or something. I just never quite understood what was going on. Was he programming that? Was he just looking up on the internet?
Yeah, they never even really covered how they kind of became connected. He just saw him do some goofy things with the computer twice, and then they were just best friends after that.
Yeah, man, he's elite.
No,
he plays the game.
No, he's ZeroCool.
He plays the game.
Yeah.
And after which, maybe we want to talk about the Cyberdelia place too. Who is funding this place? To be honest, it was a pretty badass place, but it just makes you wonder, okay, who founded this bar? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And if they know it's a hacker hangout, shouldn't the Secret Service just be trolling that place 24/7?
Especially if they're already advertising it as such.
I'm sure it has the reputation of being, the hacker hangout.
I don't know. What do you think was the most awkward thing for you in the whole movie? Most awkward scene, other than him watching the skeletons?
Oh, awkward scene. Well, I can say a little nitpick of mine. And because I probably watched this movie about 20 times, and I was trying to watch it much more analytically this time, but it's the first time they inform the Plague of the Gibson being hacked. Mm-hmm. So he rides in on his skateboard. Mm-hmm. He does the sweet kick the skateboard and grab it. But then as he walks up to the computer, he tosses the skateboard to the side. It bugged me the whole time. Well, why'd you kick the skateboard up and grab it if all you were going to do was throw it to the side anyway?
The same thing happened to me later on. It was right after they got done talking to a group of people, and he's walking out and he's talking to the girl. And I think it's after that scene, and they start talking about we need to find somebody to blame it on. We're not going to get caught. And then some dude walks by and he has a piece of paper. He just takes the piece of paper. He's like, I'll take care of this. And the guy says, okay. And he keeps walking. And then he just looks at the piece of paper, and then the scene ends, and they go into something else. I was like, what was the point of that?
Yeah, I mean, right? Because, it's this giant office building.
Right? The guy's just like, okay.
A random person walking with a piece of paper, and he knows who this is, and he knows what those papers are.
Yeah, we'll have to look into, where our rights are as far as, showing some scenes from movies just to kind of cover that a little bit, because I think that'd be kind of funny just to kind of give something to what we're talking about, because it was so funny just be like, I'll take this.
Ian, softly, if you're out there, this is all love for your movie. Not trying to rip it off. Berg's putting his headset on. Something must be getting intense.
I was losing audio. I could barely hear you guys for the last 2 minutes.
Technical issues. Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
not sure what happened there, but
Getting hacked.
maybe probably was getting hacked.
So we're kind of peaking on our 30 minutes. What do you guys think we'd like to kind of cover through that?
Honestly, I kind of want to just get our high level thoughts on the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me personally, I actually thought this movie was very well paced.
Yeah.
Kind of looking back at it analytically, it never lingered on scenes too long. Mm-hmm. Nothing was ever too, drawn out. It was actually quite well paced. In fact, you might say it's maybe a little almost too briskly paced, but overall, I kind of like it.
Yeah. I like the pacing was good. The pacing was good on it. For sure.
Yeah, and also it's good. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's good. My only goof gripe on that was the slow motion scenes in the beginning, and then they jump into all these super fast paced scenes after that. Everything was high speed.
Yeah, definitely some goofy lines in the movie that were just weird and in there for no reason, pretty much.
But that's because we're looking at it from a 30-year lens.
Well, that's true too, but I mean they're still pretty goofy back then. I feel like. I remember when I was looking up some stuff, it only made $7.5 million in the box office, I think, something like that. So it was actually a flop. As far as money goes, it was a flop.
But to me, it kind of makes sense because 95, you don't have the widespread adoption of computers yet. Anyone who does have a computer just spent an arm and a leg on it, and all it can do is play solitaire and Minesweeper.
Right.
And maybe a couple little things on the internet if you can get connected.
Yeah, for sure.
So I can kind of understand how people are I don't know what this is. This is not for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely the grungy kids type of thing, and yeah, it was more of a anti-establishment movie too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's Dunkel, go ahead.
I was looking at some random factoids that they had for it. The average age of the actors on set for this were 22 years old, and that Angelina Jolie, this was her first major movie.
I think it was her first leading role.
Yep, and then this movie was shot mostly in Vancouver.
Really?
Canada.
Oh, I thought it was New York this whole time.
Right.
I'm sure those Canadians let them film for cheap up there.
Probably,
right.
Yeah.
They probably paid them to film in Vancouver.
Right. Did you guys talk about, while I was having issues, about Hack the Planet selling out?
No.
Did you talk about that at all?
No.
Because they were saying that there's an actual TV station that wants to broadcast them, and I'm like, you're the hackers who are taking over the station. Why are you selling out to a company?
No, you're absolutely right. It's the most anti-establishment move out there.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to. You could just take it.
I think that was their motivation for helping them too. Is that kind of overcompensation. We're
Right.
oh crap, yeah, we are selling out. Now we got to do something super anti-establishment to kind of earn some of that cred back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Though,
for sure.
truth be told, they probably did end up selling out to that network once the
I'm sure they did. Yeah, for sure. They seem like people who would probably
once the
just
story
sell
was
out.
over.
Yeah, definitely. But on a high level, though, yeah, no, it was definitely an entertaining movie. Are we going to give our ratings?
I am going to give it a 1401 out of 1507. Maybe
a
a little biased, but I think it's a well-paced movie. I think it is a brilliant time capsule of the 90s. I mean, you've got the rollerblades, you've got all the pop culture references. You have the absolute ridiculous versions of cool.
Yeah, for sure. I gave it a 1311 out of 1507, which comes out to an 87% for those who like the math instead.
Which I'm surprised, actually.
Definitely a high B. Well, I'm entertained by things. I like the computer side of stuff, so it's definitely entertaining to me when you understand what they're talking about for a lot of it.
It's still about the 1200 range. It was good. Like Garth, I was kind of fascinated with the just the tech savviness of it, and given what they knew about technology in '95, how deep they went with it.
Well, I think that kind of begs it kind of reminds me of a moment in the movie towards the end when they have hackers of the world unite. They're all hacking the Gibson machine. There's different types of worms and viruses, and Penn's doing this almost tutorial of, oh, that's a rabbit. It duplicates itself and starts eating code. And, oh, that's a worm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Explaining it to that lady. Yeah.
It's hooked on hacking for kids.
Right.
And she's like, the bleeps and the bloops, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
I
was wondering what her role in all of that was. Just nonsense, basically.
I mean, she was almost like a patsy at the corporation, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Almost seemed like Plague was playing her the whole time.
Yeah,
Or at least
I
didn't
think he
care
kind
much
of
about
was
her.
for sure.
Yeah, and she didn't really go on to do much. And she just went on to do this, little dinky show on HBO called Sopranos.
Right.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy,
Well, I
yeah.
didn't realize the part where the Hackers TV show talks about the cassette recorder to make free phone calls. That was actually a real life thing you could do with a red
Yeah,
box.
it was freaking. That's why guy that's why that was his nickname. Freaking the phone with the dial tones.
Yeah, because he did it like, 2 or 3 separate times in the movie?
Yeah, they showed him doing it. Well, one he was making right when you see him, he makes a long distance phone call where he's talking a different language. So you think, and then they show him in the skater club doing it, and I think he does it one more time in there, maybe also. But he does something with the phone in jail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he,
he
like,
hacks the phone in the jail.
a bunch of
Yeah.
times,
Yep.
and it goes to the operator.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So was any of that stuff like frowned upon at that point in time? Like,
it cost.
Well, in the real world.
Yeah, I looked it up. It freaking was before that even, and it was costing like AT&T like tens of millions of dollars a year.
I wonder if they found a way to stop it at that point, because it was kind of one of those like you're putting it out into the world kind of thing.
I would guess they had a way to stop it, or the phones changed or something. They didn't use a dial tone anymore or something.
I can say I never actually used that technique, but then again, 95,
Yeah.
I would have been 11, so
I was still shook.
probably
with
not much need for a payphone.
Yeah, I was
6, 7,
5,
6, 9.
so I was 5, so it was not.
I think Dylan was at least a twinkle in someone's eye at that point, right, Dylan?
I was alive. I was 2.
But yeah, Hackers definitely a good time, definitely worth a watch.
It was a solid watch. It absolutely was a solid watch. Entertaining. I would encourage anyone. It's only an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, whatever the runtime was of your life. It's well paced. If you want a dose of the 90s, if you're looking for some nostalgia.
Yeah,
great
definitely a
movie for that.
nostalgia hit for sure. Yeah.
So for next episode, do we have a year in movie we're going for yet?
No, I think we're gonna pick that after this. We'll pick a year, we'll pick a movie. It'll be random. It won't be in chronological order. We'll just jump around with like a random number generator and pick a movie, and then we'll probably try to release it like a Monday.
And you
Record,
listeners will have to tune in to find out what it is.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Like and subscribe for new episodes.
We have no page for you to like or subscribe, but hey.
Yep.
If you want to
We'll get it. We'll get it going.
If you want to give us some comments on this, feel free.
Give us a like. Give us a like. Subscribe. We'll get it all going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Everybody have a good one.